I'm excited. No, I don't think really those two players need any introduction, but well, Duck, of course, being I think Duck is really on par with Eaglemut his level, and people can't really believe that Eaglemut is so by that standard Duck should be around the captain. But in reality, he's much better than his rank suggests, much better than his first lieutenant rank. So this game is actually closer than
Yeah,
it looks like.
he's his rank there is 24.3, so that's very close to captain. That the next level up would be captain, right? Oh, and soldier has actually switched to Iroquois here.
Oh, okay. Looks like Soldier wants to be a little bit more aggressive, perhaps, than his friend Sif suggested.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We saw Iroquois a lot yesterday in the Sunday Smackdown on Saturday. Um, who was playing there? Sampu and A's?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As well. Um,
Did we see this exact matchup yesterday? I think we did, but I'm not sure.
um, I'm not exactly sure either. We saw a lot of games. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so British versus Iroquois. Well, obviously, British is the more economic one and the more defensive one in most cases. But then again, Iroquois can also do some more economic and technical stuff than just rushing, as for example, their FI or semi-FI is also a scary one to see what Soldier goes for.
Yeah, we see both town center wagons kind of coming out on the map. Ducks heading a little more to the northwest here, maybe trying to secure some hunts, whereas soldiers
Yeah,
looking very aggressive.
I think it makes sense for British to be not too far forward with their covered wagon because, well, they want to be a little bit more defensive, and having two town centers together is definitely the better position for anything defensive. But Soldier even going over the trade route into the sacred grounds of Duck, and definitely on a very aggressive side here.
Yeah, placing that
Looks
right
like
on
he
top of
wants,
this hunt here and making that hunt
yeah.
difficult to access for Duck. Whereas Duck has secured a hunt, but with this very aggressive Iroquois town center, he's really looks like he might have a little bit of a hunt shortage. Do you think this hunt placement is actually okay?
I think the hunt placement is actually fine, but it's really this town center placement that screws Duck over.
Yeah,
I mean, this hunt is totally fine for Duck to take. It's in one screen away from his town center, but yeah, that forward town center is what's going to deny him hunts, and that's something he has to deal with.
yeah.
Um,
Looking at the hunt placement, I think with maybe some better scouting, Duck would have been better off to have a second town center more in this direction, where there's three very close hunts, maybe even four if you count this one. Whereas on this side, he's really only secured this one hunt in the mine.
yeah, and well, I don't think really it's due to an unfair spawn, but it's definitely due to soldiers' town center placement that this is going to be a tough one for Duck to defend, I think.
Yeah, Soldier picking up 60 XP here. Oh, and he also picked up 95 wood, getting the Outlaw Rifleman off of it. So that's quite good treasures. Yeah, we see a trading post from Duck here, which is kind of interesting from British on this map.
Yeah, definitely not something you expect from British. Of course, it was a 300 wood start, so he didn't have a lot of problems getting up both a manor house and a trade post. But a lot of people actually go for two manor houses instead, or maybe something like a manor house and a market.
Oh, and he misses the treasure. Did you see that? He
Oh,
tried to pick it
oh
up,
yeah,
walked away, then had to go
yeah,
back
I
for
saw
it and
that.
got sniped in the meantime. That is insane. Big
It
swing of
was
50 wood.
extremely painful to watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
the outlaw rifleman doing 40 damage is, to be honest, pretty insane against a 400 well, actually 440 HP hero. I mean, that's uh,
This is
that's just
also
really tough to
interesting.
deal with.
This Travois that Soldier starts out with, he's still scouting with it. He hasn't built anything. Is he
No, of
saving?
course he. He doesn't need to build a house since he has his second town center.
Yeah,
So
if he saves that until he's aged up, can he build a war hut with it?
no, I've tried that before. I think on some Deccan games, but that's actually not possible. It's
Yeah, longhouse going down
this
here in the corner.
yeah. So this Trafar cannot be used for a war hut. That would be very overpowered, I think, in this place,
Yeah,
in
definitely.
this event.
Yeah, trying to pick up a career here, but oh yeah, and then the extra HP coming in just in time for his explorer from the age up, so that he doesn't lose his
Oh,
explorer. I was worried about that for a second. I was like, these grizzly bears look like they might take out the explorer.
yeah. Okay, so this war hut coming out here, out of his town center, and a building right next to it. I actually would be interested to see if he just built his war hut here, just right next to the town center. But
Yeah, that
perhaps
might
it
be
would be too
interesting.
dangerous with Fire Minuteman. But he still has his contain on the right side. But Duck has a lot of hunts gathered on the left side between these two town centers. So for now, he should be totally safe.
Yeah, he must have herded in another herd here from further northwest. I didn't see that happening.
Yeah,
And
he took the one that started out here where this that animal is. So
yeah,
he's got 2 full hunts right now.
7 coming in here to try to at least maybe just idle bills, but not really doing any damage.
7 Hyena instead of 4 Kenya is an interesting first military shipment for you, I think. With it yet. Outpost wagon coming out. Well, of course, building it right next, right in between the two town centers. And I think these 7 Hyenas haven't done too much useful yet. They can do some damage against the outpost, but
Well,
both town
Kanya would
centers are firing.
definitely do more in a siege situation like that.
Yeah, exactly. And since both town centers are firing, this quickly doesn't become worth it, I think. And yeah, I'm interested to hear his reasoning behind sending 7 Ayana first. His next shipment is 600 resources, so I think that's mostly for spamming units.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. We have has has Duck researched any market techs?
Looks like no. So maybe he chooses market to sell some gold at some point, but he should definitely do at least hunting dogs right now. It's
Yeah,
very cheap compared to what it gives you.
we're seeing both hunting dogs and placer mines come in from SoldieR, but this market from the British player just not utilizing it.
Maybe he's got forgotten about it, but now 700 wood is out, so he should definitely build some more houses and some market upgrades, and I think he will focus on that once this aggressive act from SoldieR here is over.
Yeah, and the British
He's
player
got 5
actually housed here,
musketeers.
despite having two town centers.
Something you see very often, the British player being housed, but
Yeah,
with the 700 wood, he should definitely be able to build some more infrastructure. 600 coin next for SoldieR, and I think this maybe he's going for an FF.
yeah, maybe. Again, we were kind of fooled by this aggressive placement and hasn't really been used super aggressively.
Yeah, and well, I think Duck can make use of that by just getting his boom up. He's now finally doing hunting dogs, and I hope he can actually scout this little base here with his hero and try to take out both that villager there and the longhouse. It's quite an easy catch for his 10 musketeers that are on the field.
Hmm. Yeah, SoldieR now pushing on this trading post and using these AN as a siege. Duck really can't do much about that with his musketeers, other than maybe trying to get in here to snipe some while they're busy sieging. But
Well, 6 longbowmen have been shipped, and they are definitely able to deal with the Ayana from a distance. So
yeah, that's gonna help.
So, okay, and let's see what else is happening. SoldieR is aging with the, let's see, text being researched. Like the chief, and I'm actually not quite sure what that does.
I don't know, and this is
So,
Smackdown patch also, so the this has
oh,
the
right.
modified politicians, I believe.
Yeah. we'll have to see once he ages up what actually the effect is. For now, it looks like he's down a trade post, and maybe he's going to take it back himself. But then again, he can also use some more houses. So I think for now, he may want to spend the wood on other things.
Yeah, and Duck finding himself at this military advantage while SoldieR is aging and able to get a little bit done, but I'm not sure he's aware that SoldieR is aging here and realizes how much damage he really needs to be doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think right now he's got some sense of, hey, I've faced no units for the last 2 minutes, so something is going on. But for now, he's well, he will find out now. Let's leave it at that. He's now finally sieging down the blockhouse, the longhouse in the back of his
Yeah,
base. So that actually means a SoldieR. He's already popped now, but he will be even more popped once that goes down in half a minute. So
I
has to
didn't
build some
see
more
any
infrastructure.
evidence of what that age up might have done.
The chief. It sounds like something with his hero, honestly.
Oh, could be.
His hero does have a lot of HP.
I don't know how normal that is for Iroquois.
Oh, we're so bad at this game. Okay,
Yeah.
looks like we're gonna have an engagement here, and 5 hussars will definitely help tank a lot of damage. And this is going to be a good fight for Duck, I think.
Yeah, this looks pretty good, although these hussars really not being used too effectively, just attacking the tomahawk, which is really not what you want to be using them for. But regardless, the more stuff principle kicks in here, and Duck pretty easily cleaning this up.
Yeah, a few wakinas have been added. Oh, okay, a shipment of 8 more. And I'm not quite sure if there are enough hussar left to actually engage those wakinas at this moment.
Yeah.
SoldieR is fine, but if a new batch of hussars pop out, then he will definitely be in trouble because it doesn't seem to have any anti-cavalry on the board at this moment.
Yeah, Duck actually deciding, okay, now he's walking away from it. Using one hussar there to do a little bit of damage, but not really too effective when you only have one.
Okay, his hero... Okay, SoldieR is being very aggressive with his hero, doing the crack shot again, and not losing it. So he's making good use of his hero's special abilities.
Musket Riders coming out
Like,
for
yeah.
SoldieR here, and 4 Vills coming out at the same time from Duck. Duck may be kind of running out of fantastic colonial aid shipments to be sending.
Yeah, 4 villagers, not too great, but that's
I
only
feel like
like
at this point,
10% or
I'd rather
even less.
see one of these musketeer upgrades. He's got enough mass, and really the military is starting to be pretty important here. His hunts are running out. He's going to have to be pushing out onto the map further soon. So he really needs to make something happen with this military.
Yeah, I think this is a logical next hunt. There's still this villager here, which might scout out the villagers from Duck, but he should be able to defend them well with the army he's currently got. Duck, he's got a lot of resources in his bank as well, so at some point he might consider aging up himself, but when he's just transitioning to other hunts, it may slow him down for a little bit, so he might not want to age at that point.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, Neri just spent down most of his food, so doesn't look like he's planning to age up anytime soon. He's got quite a
Yeah.
hussar mass here and gonna push in at the forward town center.
Yeah, there's still only 5 musket riders and I think 8 tomahawks for SoldieR as anti-cavalry, which may not be enough against this mass. And looks like also a raid going on here. I see 1, 2 villagers going down.
3,
3,
4,
4,
5. Yeah, I think that was at least
5.
5. Yeah,
Yeah, let's take
7
a
have
quick
gone
look
down from
at
SoldieR
units.
all game now.
7. Yeah, exactly. So Duck is now definitely ahead in terms of eco. The trade posts are even. I hope he won't lose his mass here. Looks like he's going out for a raid and meanwhile distracting the musket riders with his musketeers. But then again, his own villagers are very unprotected here as well. And his army is all the way in the south of the map.
Yeah, luckily
He's
SoldieR
now
having to
being more...
pull these back to deal with the hussars and not able to use them to go raid himself. I think he
Yeah,
probably could have pulled the musket riders back maybe and used the Kanyas to go raid, and that would have been a more effective use of those to split them off instead of bringing that whole mass back just to deal with 3 or 4 hussars.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. It looks like now the 5 hussars are finally dead. SoldieR has lost quite a bit of eco. And, well, the big question is where he's going to hunt as well. Probably going to be here in between his town centers, but he should be careful that he doesn't get raided again.
Yeah, now SoldieR maybe coming back to try to raid a little bit and getting caught by the army. And yeah, as you point out there, SoldieR's very aware that these villagers are here thanks to having his own villager on this mine. But he really can't get back here right now without bringing his whole army in to contest it.
And it looks like we're going to finally have this big contention of the two armies. And it looks like SoldieR is ahead, both in military population and of course in tech. His tomahawks are upgraded, so are his Kanya. So he's got all Fortress Age units against the Colonial Age mass from Duck. And I'm not quite sure what Duck can really do here. He's still very far from aging up.
Yeah, Duck
Pushed
really
off all his hunts.
doesn't have a lot of options here. He's researching Greatcoat, so maybe he's intending to maybe take this by throwing all his vills in once that gets done.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure how effective that's going to be. If there's a battle this large, of this size, then the few villagers may not be enough to swing it in his favor.
Yeah, Blunderbuss coming out as well and getting a couple more batches out and evening out this military pop. But with SoldieR ahead in tech so much, I think he's going to have a hard time taking this fight.
Looks like he's going out for a raid again, using 5 hussars here, but he's going to be caught. And of course, these musket riders will have more speed than the hussars. So eventually he is going to lose all 5 of those hussars for not much of a gain.
Yeah, and Duck's trying to buy some time here. He's sending these hussars out to raid and, you know, kind of running away from the army and distracting it for a while, chasing bills down. But I don't really know what he's buying time for. He doesn't have any source of food, although he's just built a mill. That's going to take quite a while to pay off. And finally, it's engagement coming in. He's just realized he just needs to push.
Yeah, and it looks like this is going to be the final fight of this game. There are upgraded musketeers here, but it's not going to be enough against a big Wakina mass,
Yep,
and
and
he
calls
caused
game.
the GG there.
Yeah, that was quite an enjoyable game for a while there, until Duck ran out of hunts here. He seemed like he was in it, but once the hunts ran out, there was really not much he could do.
Yeah, definitely, and looks like in the end, the Iroquois aggression was just too much. He didn't really do too much with his 7 Ayana early on, but then again, he did really delay the boom from Duck. So the 7 Hyenas didn't do much damage in itself, but it forced Duck to go very defensively and not boom too hard and do market upgrade to make manners. And that in the end might have cost him the game.